Karan Bajaj and my friend Madhur Modi. Today, as a part of Ideathon 2015, we are presenting two main ideas. The first one is custom summary based multi-keyword IntelliSearch. However funny that sounds, we're going to explain what it means. Let's quickly jump on to our first idea. We are taking a business case of a very busy person, an investment banker. But what he does is something that all of us do every day. We read documents. I hope most of us use Acrobat for reading documents. So this user goes through, let's say, a particular document in the morning, which he has to make sense of. A particular document would look like, let's say, a business report of a company. As of now, he has to go through the document manually, make some mental contextual keywords out of skimming through the document, and then filter the document manually. Let's take the example of Adobe's report for our use case. I give a challenge to anybody in the room to make sense out of this document in 1.5 minutes. Right. You must be amazed to know that on average a banker gets about 30 seconds, less than a minute, to make sense out of this document. So the pain is big. Imagine having tens of such documents every day in the morning. I'm sure none of us would want to come into that situation. As all of us can appreciate, it takes a lot of manual mental effort. There is a limit to documents because the time you spend on a document is huge. So the scope of content you can actually process at one stretch becomes limited. But the most important part is missing keywords and not standardization. For example, there are two people using the same document. They get 15 seconds to make sense out of it. The context that one would take out would be really different from the one that other would take out. So that creates a lot of problems. In fact, missing one important word can actually change the whole context of a report.
So the solution which we offer to these problems is that we could detect the summary. There are no, there are so many algorithms present out there which can spot the keywords from the summary of a document. So all these reports, such as financial report here, have a summary, and we can use keyword spotting algorithms to filter out those keywords. And using that filtering, we can then highlight the relevant content in the entire document, and the other content could then go with the background. So let's take an example of this report. We have highlighted the contents in this document, and then most of the text has been filtered out, and we have only the relevant content which has been filtered out using the keywords in the summary. So now the person has to read only the important lines, and he can still complete the whole document in a span of 30 seconds or so. From this solution, he can then continue over the all the documents he has, and he can be happy. So the solutions to the problems were the manual effort is now automated from the algorithms. He is not limited to the number of documents now, because he can go through extensive content and zoom through them without missing any of the keywords, because the algorithms could now find out all the present keywords. Let's go to the next idea. We can use algorithms. Mostly we have NLP based algorithms present out already, which can spot the keywords from the summary.
So one thing is, let's say you already have a summary section of the document. So you can just pass that section and using NLP you can extract keywords over that. And based on those keywords you can color code the document based on how relevant the part of the document is with respect to the keywords.
The best part is it's not binary. It's not like important and not important. Even in the important ones, you might have a higher degree of importance. So you could tweak. Let's say I have 5 seconds to browse, I can just put in the headlines. Things like that.
So two things there. One, Word had a summarize feature that they got rid of like 3-4 years back. Mac has an inbuilt summarize feature, but again, the algorithm does not work great there. And for documents, you need to consider the structure of the document as well.
But in this case, we are not considering the summary. We already have the summary. We are just using that summary to highlight what that summary wants to indicate and filter out the remaining content.
Actually, his question is that the end result is the same, that you kind of summarize the document, right? So I think it's an opportunity for us to do better.
So there is some challenge in the current algorithm. So you have to change that.
Unproven false vectors can be factored something. For example, if one has a salary step, we have two keywords. One is a bonus, one is a pay. Right? So other one is tax. Probably highlight bonus, but not highlight pay.
That is a good challenge actually. I guess we can take it up as a patentable opportunity.
No, and this is again there's a lot of research being done. So I think the thing you have to kind of look into is why is that research? How will you do better than that?
Like, and what is the state of art of the research? Is it at a stage where one can start leveraging that or effectively summarize the product?
Yeah, because I think we put that in a point follow.
So now the second idea we have is custom compliance restrictions for editing. The day before yesterday, we saw this news on Google. Why do courts still deliver many legal documents by hand?
What were you saying?
You can already see legal documents. We searched for legal documents and we could not find the legal documents. Instead, we find this news. So, as we all know, we have this trend of going paperless, but legal documents are still delivered by hand in the courts. So, suppose we have this compliance personnel, and he wants to make these legal documents digitally. So, he has to follow all the compliance and standards which are laid out by the government, or they could be institutionalized. This has to be done manually, whether it is written by hand or whether it is created digitally, and that creates problems. He has to go through a set of compliance rules, and then he has to standardize those documents. And those standardizations are not just the universal standards like PDFX and PDFA, which we already have, but they could be specific to the institution or the company in which they are working. And
Another 2 minutes.
so we have lot of documents which have to be processed daily, and that creates problems.
So let us try to see what we can do in it. Let's quickly open up one use case where our compliance personnel sends a document. Let's look at the problems again quickly. We have a lot of time consumption because obviously this is done manually. We have important checks missed out because obviously there's a scope to the things that you can think of. And obviously it's a confusion for clients because let's say I'm sending you a document and I have to explicitly write in the email Arial 22 font size. Taking one example, you'll have to look closely. This is our edit app. I send this document to a client and I tell him to, let's say, rephrase the first paragraph. As of now, what confusion can amount of is, can you change please?
Change.
Okay, you'll have to look closely. There is a paragraph, the font of which was not followed as a universal standard by the client, and he changed it. Now, if this document has 1,000 pages or let's say 900 pages, it will be very difficult for a compliance person to actually check whether all compliance standards are followed. And that's why a lot of compliance people in Adobe use Word. The solution that we offer is to give them a capability of authoring rules. The rules in this case was to, let's say, freeze the font type and the font size for a particular bounding box. So for this, whenever the client actually goes and tries to edit it, he does not even have the choice of changing a font or changing the font size. So we kind of guide him through the process, and it becomes really helpful for the client.
Won't they author in Word? Where would they author in?
No, we have a document, let's say even if in case of forms, the client has to fill a form, right? So he has to put in some content.
How you can specify this is the font you use for this font?
If we can freeze that particular font, so font is just one example. Let's say there are images to edit as well. I am the director of a particular company. I want the design team to revalidate the content, but I don't want them to change the images. So I could freeze that, edit using a functionality. So this is a very simple example of a rule that you can author. The scope of rules can be much more. Now let's go to what we did. We reduced the time consumption, and because now the restriction part is done automated, so the compliance doesn't need to manually reevaluate if everything is going fine. Important checks will not be missed out because it is set as a standard and it's included with the document. So my client is forced to follow those standards. And there won't be any confusion for the clients because they are in a way handheld and taken through filling through the document or editing the document. This of course makes my compliance person happy. Thank you. Questions in the few seconds we have.
The second one is about
Look at is what are the real scenarios. So, typically what somebody will do is create a template in Word which has the right property and set. It doesn't fit into your legal documents that delivered by hand. I don't want to.
Actually, there are
Coordination
two
with
scenarios.
that is delivered by hand, so it's, it can have any form. But coming back to it, what are those compliance? For example, PDFA is a good one. Some companies require that, and we have that in the product where we can do valuable action. What are these other standards? And why would they be? Why is it better to apply them in PDF than this?
So I'll give you quick points. That is where we started from. We talked to a compliance person inside Adobe and we asked him, what do you use for your documents as of now? He said they use Word, but that was used for specific features that Word's allowed you to restrict, like adding comments, things like that. In our case, we asked him what convenience can we provide from the side of technology when we're working with documents. He said certain things are needed to be inserted, like bullets, for example, but people don't know out there. They kind of put it in paragraphs and the compliance person has to manually make sense of it and break it into bullets. So this was one feature, for example. I think, as you're saying, we need to work closer with the business and understand.
But even in those cases, I think we think to work on more on the Word side rather than the PDF side. So why don't we first create a PDF and then try to
Actually,
change my Word document to compare it?
I think we have already disrupted that. For example, PDF was in a way a substitution for a printed document, right? But we are allowing them in a facility for editing, which you can't do with a plain paper, right? So we have actually crossed the boundary already. But now that we have crossed the boundary, I think we can make this repairing sort of thing to give restricted editing, so that in a way it becomes more closer to our original business case of using a paper, a hard copy of paper. That was the initial motivation behind the idea.
No, another way to ask this is, when they're dealing with these documents, are they dealing more in terms of PDF documents or with Word files? So there is a need for something more right now.
Actually, as of now, their motivation is to build up a document. For example, the compliance person wants financial wala banda to put in some numbers. So right now he's using Word because in Acrobat he doesn't feel friendly enough. In Word he can actually freeze some certain features, let's say, or certain editing functionalities, which he can't do in Acrobat. So that's why he feels more comfortable.
It's something like more a feature that should be more. PDF, once you've already created PDF, you can do edit, there's a lot of good stuff there, but you're limited in the ways in which you can do things.
So you want to go after the case where it is more about collaborative editing, where you want to restrict what portions of the documents are being edited. Is that the case that you want to go after?
Right, okay. In a way that can be part of the solution.
Adobe started Adobe Forms and it deprecated that with based on the statistics. So it can't be argued.
Okay, we'll check with you why you deprecated and we
Because of the statistics. User statistics.
Please share the statistics.